Good afternoon, everyone. This is Vasudesh Pandey. We are going to start in a minute. Let me log into the Easylib demo over here. Good afternoon, everyone. This is Vasudesh Pandey from Easylib Software Private Limited. Today, I am so happy to bring you a topic that is the trends of 2025 that are reshaping the libraries. They are influencing, they are reshaping, they are making the difference to the way the libraries operate. So, this topic has been prepared after a lot of studies, and I'm happy to share this presentation with you. Okay. So, what are the trends that we are seeing over here? What are the items that are reshaping the libraries? Right. The very first one that we see over here in the libraries is the digital content. So, we all know that the digital contents have been taking a prominent place in the libraries for more than a decade. But now we are seeing that the trend has increased. They become faster. More and more libraries are now replacing the purchase of the books, physical journals with the electronic equivalents. So that trend is continuing. There is one more thing that has come over here. That is, earlier people used to have the physical library and the digital library as two separate entities. You have our easily 4.4, right? That was a physical library software. And many times people went with let's say, the D space for the old one. But now, can we combine these two software? So that is the trend. Okay. So now people are looking for one software platform which is going to help them manage their physical content as well as the digital content. So that is the trend that we are seeing in the libraries now. Now, that also brings one challenge. What is the challenge we are talking about? Many times, the physical library items are cataloged as per the Mark 21 standard. On the other hand, the digital library material are cataloged with the Dublin core standard. So now you have two material, one in Mark 21, another one is Dublin core. How do you show in a common place? So that is one thing that we are seeing over here. So the third trend that we are seeing over here within that the digital contents is users are asking now. They don't want to be limited by what you have got in the library. They would like to see what is in the library as well as what could be outside the library. It could be the books, it could be the journals, it could be the digital material, or even external resources. So the expectation from the end users is they would like to see the material no matter where it is available. Show me the information no matter where it is available. I want my library to show me that information. So that's a major trend that we are seeing everywhere over here. So let me answer one question. Many people ask, okay, how do I get this information? What we have done at Easylib is that we study a lot of tenders worldwide. So that gives us an opportunity to see what is happening worldwide in the libraries in US, the European countries, South America, the East, Asian, many other countries, and of course India, right? So that is helping us understand the trend that are coming up in all those places. Of course, then the second one is interacting with you all, interaction with the library professors, academicians, and many more. So now what we have done is in addition to understanding the trends, we have tried to influence the way we as a company operate also. So the first thing that we have done is digital content being more prominent. So what we have done is that rather than selling our digital library module in Easylib as a separate entity, now we have made it as a part of the core Easylib software itself. So every customer will get the physical library management, digital library management combined. So that's what is being offered in Easylib 6.4 as an optional, and in Easylib 8.4, that's a standard process, standard module itself, right? So then another one is coming up. That is a combined search. So earlier in the Easylib, you would search the physical book separately, the digital one separately. Now, in the next version, you are going to see, show me the books on a certain topic. It is going to search in the books. It's going to search in the journals. It's going to search in the digital subscriptions you have got, digital PDF copies that you have got, and then there is a discovery also. Okay, so all these are combined in one platform. So that is what we have done in Easylib. So this was related to the digital content. Now let me go to the second trend that's happening. The second trend that we see is that more prominence to the end users, right? More prominence to the end users. So let me see. I want to make sure I'm sharing the screen. Okay, good. I am indeed sharing the screen. Just to make sure that you are able to see this properly, what I would do is I would also log in on a mobile device to see what you are seeing over here. Okay, youtube.com/ at easylib demo. Okay, give me a minute. So that way I can be sure you are seeing the one what I'm presenting over here. Okay, good. Okay, great. It's coming up, and I am sure you are able to see this. So the trend, that is the second trend that you are seeing over here, more prominence to the end user. Of course, Dr. Ranganathan in his 5 laws had told, save the time of the users. Make sure that every material that you have got goes to the end user. Now, that end user part is becoming more and more prominent. So, what are the practical trends that we are seeing? Pattern driven acquisition. Asking users what they want. Give them the ability to request for the books. Earlier, they used to give them a request, prepare some 30, 40 items list, send it as a print copy, signed and all that, right? Send a signed request. Then you would look at it and then order it once in 3 months, 6 months. No, no, no. Now, what's happening is that things are becoming faster. So, question that the people are asking is, can I go and request the books online? Can it be faster? Can the purchase be faster? And of course, in many libraries, the librarians' doors are open. The librarians walk and then meet the people asking what the users want. So this is what is happening. The new library design that you see over here makes sure that the chief librarian, the core library staff are at the center of the building so that anybody can walk in from any direction and ask the help from the library staff. So this is the trend. Then the next one is on-demand purchases. So on-demand purchases, the people request the books and then they don't have to wait until the entire purchasing process is complete. So many times we are seeing a trend over here. The libraries gets the budget for a certain amount, but the spend is all flexible. Even on a almost weekly or twice a month, you can order. And now there is one more trend over here. Some of the libraries are already implemented, especially in the corporates, already in process. So the end user can go and buy a book, read it, then simply come to the library and then give the book as well as the bill. The librarian will reimburse that particular amount to the end user, and they would catalog that book, put an accession number, and make it as a part of the library. And if the user wants, they'll reissue the book to the end user. So this is what is happening in many places. There is one more that is coming up. More organized approach. Many times when the people wanted something, right? So they would go and talk to the librarian, request what they want. But now there is an additional step to track what they want. So that means people are given a service desk or a grievance management system wherein they can log in, they can put their request, they can put a complaint, they can put a suggestion or anything that they want in the system. The moment they put in over there, they will get an SMS or an email saying that so and so request has been requested from the person and it is being routed to the concerned staff in the library. So this one is one of the modules that is being asked in many of the worldwide library RFPs. So what we have done at Easylib is that first thing, we have made the pattern driven equation very simple in Easylib 8.4 version. The next one, what we have done is the service desk module, which used to sell it as a separate package. Now it's also being made part of the Easylib 8.4 a cloud version. So that means once you get Easylib for 8.4, all of your students get access to open a ticket. And that ticket will come into the queue of the library staff. Right? So you're basically giving more prominence to the end user. So now let's move on to the third trend, what's happening over here. The third trend over here is that this is related to the cost optimization, right? So what do you mean by cost optimization? Measure everything, analyze everything, see whether are you spending the right amount of money, right? So the first one, am I stuck here? Okay, great. Measure everything, cost per user. Imagine this, you have got over 1 crore rupee you are spending on the library. And if the number of users who are coming to the library is about, let's say, simple, 1 lakh total visits to the library. That means 1 crore being spent on the library, total 1 lakh visitors you have got over the year. So that means you are spending 100 rupees per visit of the user. Cost of operations. If in the circulation desk, the all cost of the circulation desk is about, let's say, 1 lakh rupee per month, and you are issuing about, let's say, 10,000 books per month, issue, return, renewal, all that is 10,000. So 1 lakh rupees is being spent, 10,000 is the count. So that means cost of per transaction is 10 rupees. Now what we are seeing is that more and more libraries in the requirements are asking, can your software help measure these kind of things? Throughput, per student cost, and the library budget as a percentage of the total spend. If the college has got a budget of, let's say, 10 crore rupee per year, and the library has got a budget of, let's say, 1 crore, that's a 10%. The library has got, if the college has got 100 crore and the library has got about, let's say, 3 crore, that's 3%. So that measurement is happening over here. So now, this is so important because people are benchmarking against the other industry peers. So my university is spending this much. If some other university is spending this much on the library, now what it means is that I have the scope to increase this much. If my university is spending this much, and if the equivalent all other universities are only spending this much, then there is a trend to evaluate whether am I spending extra, or do I need to reduce the cost, or I am okay. So the spend nowadays is more relative than solid in nature. So that means if your spending is here, if everybody is spending this much, then automatically the management is ready to spend more. If you are spending this much and everybody else is spending this much, the management automatically wants to reduce the cost. So what is happening, the trend is that on one side, the colleges want to reduce the cost if they find that they are spending more, and they want to spend more if they find that they are spending less. So this is very relative in nature, very relative. That's why many places we see nowadays that the big buildings are coming up for the libraries. Lot of upgrades are happening to the infrastructure. Many libraries having going to the RFID, and OPAC for everybody, web OPAC for everybody. The students get the SMS, email, every facility. How sudden shift? Because many management of the colleges or the institutes are understanding that the library spend may not be adequate, and there is a scope to spend more. So now, from Easylib, what have we done? What we have done is that we have pre-formatted the customized dashboards in Easylib 8.4, a cloud version, so that the measurement is easier. So you will be able to measure how well you are doing based on the different criteria that you set up. Then we have got one more. If the management says, okay, you are spending much more and we want to reduce, to make sure that you justify that money, that much spending, or that many people are required in the library, we have added ability for you to track what work as a chief librarian you are assigning to your team members. So if you have got 10 staff, you can clearly track how the time of my 10 staff is going on. Okay, at a granular level. So that way, you are able to take up more and more initiatives within the staff that you have got. So there is a Six Sigma, right? Logic, it says define, measure, analyze, improve, control. So the implementation of Six Sigma starts with defining what you want to measure and then measuring it. And then taking the initiative to make sure that you are operating at the most efficient level. So this is the trend that we are seeing in the libraries, where the cost optimization is based on cost optimization is important, and the spend, whether you are spending more or less, is dependent on how much somebody else is spending. Okay, now let's go to the next one. What is the fourth trend that we are seeing over here? Artificial intelligence everywhere. You have heard about AI, machine learning. Every library, much of the libraries now are thinking on how can AI help my library? Can it help in faster cataloging? Can it help in faster purchasing of the item? Can it help my data quality improve? And it just doesn't stop over here. Am I getting the greatest amount of discount? Are my vendors treating me fairly? Is this amount that I am spending for this kind of library on par with what somebody else is spending? What can I do to improve the efficiency? How can I be the best library in this area? So, lot of these things are in the library's minds. So now, what we have been doing at Easylib is that, just like you, we are also trying to figure out how AI can help you over here. So the one thing that we have identified immediately to be taken up is related to integrating ChatGPT with WebOpac. That means in the traditional model, you will go and search title, author, subject, and all. Now, can the OPAC, as soon as you log in, come up with your own customized version of OPAC for you? Today, if your library has got, let's say, 1 lakh books, and I am a student of, let's say, first year commerce, I would be more interested and happier if the library OPAC is customized for the commerce students than showing everything else that is available for the world. Especially if the university has got, let's say, 50 departments, and I belong to one department. The moment I go to the web OPAC and I see the university OPAC, it is showing all the department data. It's basically adding, expecting that I spend more time in searching, right? Now the trend is that, can the web OPAC be intelligent enough to understand what I may want and show what I may want to see, with of course the ability to toggle to the generic website of the OPAC also. So that is where we are trying to use the AI over here. The next is related to ChatGPT, where if you put a certain condition saying that show me the books written by so and so person in the subject which are having more than 10,000 citations in the last 30 years, published less than 5 years ago, and so on, so on, so on. You write whatever way you want in a plain English term, and can the software go and modify that and then go and get the results and show you. So that way, ChatGPT helps in Web OPAC, and that's our task right now to integrate in Easylib. So I'll get back to you when that will be applicable. Already, to some extent, we have implemented the AI to some extent. It does go and does the spell check. And then there is a solar search, SOLR search. It does a minimum, limited amount of trying to understand what you are saying in English and try to find the books. So those are already there to some extent. Now our next goal is to implement the ChatGPT within Easylib, so that you will be able to utilize the power of AI in Easylib, in the library OPAC. So that's the fourth one. The next trend that we are seeing over here, being more visible, especially today, because of the availability of digital contents outside the library. Many librarians have been telling that the footfall to the library has been going down. Now, the question is what the libraries can do to increase the footfall. How can they be more visible in nature? So, more and more initiatives we are seeing where the libraries want to be more visible. To do that, if many libraries are taking a lot of initiatives, the very first initiative they start is digital library. Build a beautiful institutional repository of your own. Help in publishing the journal. Now the question is, what else can you do to make sure that you are visible to the entire in module itself? Then they can build their own digital library within Easylib. An event management module. From the library, you want to conduct an event. Go ahead and conduct it. Take all the registrations within Easylib itself. That's a model that we have added. So if you keep on conducting the events, invite more and more students, and you have a clear track of how many students are attending your events, and then give the inputs and so on, right? Immediately your visibility has been increasing, right? So that's what we want to make sure that you get through the event management model. Then there is a journal publication module. Today in the Easylib 8.4 version, you can clearly define what journal you want to publish, what are the volumes and issues, work with the different authors to get all the journal articles, then assign to the specific reviewers to review and get the journal ready for publication. The whole life cycle of the journals you can manage within Easylib without any extra additional deployment or anything. These are all comes as a part of the core Easylib package itself. You just have to make sure that you are buying the license for sufficient number of library staff. That's all, right? It's like a huge buffet over here. You tell your 10 people, okay, somebody work on this, somebody work on this, somebody work on this, somebody work on this, and you can manage your library to make sure that it's very much visible in the organization. Next one we have implemented in Easylib. That's the API is accessible from the other applications. So today you have Easylib for your library operations and the campus ERP operation to some extent. And there are some other applications that you have got. Can these two talk to each other? Right? So this portion is already implemented. You can create the different groups of the students, different groups of the staff, help them manage their own groups. Possible in Easylib. Then we have also added the entire campus ERP called as Easy One, simply extensible from the Easylib to Easy One. And in case you have got another ERP, Easylib can easily talk to that ERP also. So that way, you as a library are a part of this entire core system and taking different initiatives for you to be more visible over here in the organization. Okay. All right. Let me go to the next one. So this is an interesting thing over here. The trend that we are seeing in the libraries, infrastructure. The earlier the trend was, I want my own machine, I want my own server, I want my own room, and I will manage everything over here. Mine. Now people are letting go of all those. Let me focus on the activities that help my end users. We saw the trend, right? Prominence to the end users. My time, how can it go on helping the end users? Things like servers, maintenance, air conditioner, trying to deploy own software, all that, leave it to a partner. Let them handle this. As the library professional, I want to focus on being of utmost help to my end users. And if something that can be outsourced, I will outsource to the experts, because that way you will get the best practices that the partners bring it, rather than you trying to do a research on every small thing that you want to do. And even though it may give you an advantage of having the machine at your own place, the server at your place, and so on. So the trend is, let go of all own servers, all own machines, right? The server like machines, and take the cloud infrastructure. Okay, so that's something. And another trend that we are seeing over here, especially in the colleges, right? Many times the libraries are forced to move away from the library automation software to campus ERP software that has got a small module of the libraries. This is not a great development that I'm seeing, but that is already happening over here. Many libraries are at a disadvantage over here, especially the librarians are at a disadvantage here because quite often the management has been making a call on getting an ERP that claims that they have got a library software and ask the librarian to shift to that other library software. Now, quite often the libraries are not getting what all they need in that new software. Whether we that's happening over here. So that is the trend. Now, how can you influence that trend? So, what we are trying to do in Easylib is that to address the first part, we have made Easylib available primarily on the cloud platform. We have partnered with the tech covered company with Iron Mountain. Incidentally, that is the place. Iron Mountain is the place where even AWS, Microsoft, Google, and other kind of companies keep their own machines there, own servers. So we have established our center, data center in the Iron Mountain. So multiple levels of security, more reliability, and more durability. So primarily the cloud one. So that way, we truly believe